This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
I'm Jason Klaus. And over the course of my life, I've done a lot of different things, and I've worn a lot of different hats. But this may be my greatest endeavor yet. On this show, we are going to focus on life. We are going to focus on the basic fundamentals. We are going to focus on the silver lining. Because no matter what happens, no matter what is thrown our way, there is a silver lining. There is a lesson to be learned. Sometimes we just have to look a little bit harder, a little bit deeper for it. That's what this show is all about. Sometimes it's going to be rough, sometimes it's going to be raw, sometimes it may be hard to listen to, but it's something that you need to hear. This just got real.
And now, the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network presents its flagship show, the Klaus to the Heart podcast. Here is your host, Jason Klaus.
Welcome you to the flagship show of the PFC Entertainment Network. Welcome to the Klaus to the Heart podcast. I'm Jason Klaus. We certainly appreciate you tuning in here this week as we adjust our audio volumes a little bit. Trying on a new headset is what's happening, and I thought I had all my shit dialed in, and then as we started going live on this, and then it was like, oh, okay, let's calm down and figure out what's happening. But be that as it may, welcome to the show. Well, for a lot of you, this is the start of the holiday season this week. Personally, mine started a couple weeks ago, the day after Halloween. Like, I give people Halloween. I don't say shit about Christmas or anything like that around the Halloween time, because I understand how dialed in people are with that particular holiday. But we're coming into the week of Thanksgiving. It's 2 days away as this show drops. And I wanted to take this week, and it's going to be more of a personally charged episode, if you don't mind. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, and the majority of it is very much personally charged. Because this is the time of year that we generally, if you observe Thanksgiving in its traditional sense, this is the time of year we will stop, reflect, and give thanks for the blessings that we have in our lives. Now, in this day and age, I understand that there are key words that I just said that don't resonate, such as blessing. Because when you talk about blessings, you're talking about, more often than not, you're referring to a religious type of approach. And not everybody observes that. Not everybody believes in God in heaven and all that stuff. And I can respect that. I'm not here to judge one way or the other. I believe the way I believe, you believe the way you believe, and that's perfectly fine. I don't hate anybody that doesn't believe in God or does believe in God. It does not matter to me. What matters to me is how people interact, how people conduct themselves, and how they treat other people. That's what I reserve my judgment for. Not judgment. Let me calm down. My opinions. Okay. But there's been a long running joke amongst people that I know, that know me, that People think I hate Thanksgiving. My brother, Thanksgiving was Jeff's favorite holiday. And I knew that. I mean, as kids, when we were kids, it was all about Christmas. As we get older, a lot of people will shift their fanfare, for the lack of a better term, over to Thanksgiving as we get into adults. I never graduated, quote unquote, to that mentality. I have always been Captain Christmas over here. Like I it did. That has always been the one time of year where I have flourished. That is the one time of year where I really put all my efforts in an effort to, if for only one moment, to let people know that it's going to be okay. We got the magic of the holiday season. Um, I go above and beyond to try to take care of my family, my friends, let them know what they mean to me. Just little things like that. Like I have been in the. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. I am a big proponent of what the Christmas season is supposed to be, and it's not always about how many gifts you got wrapped under the tree or any bullshit like that. You know, as I've gotten older, as my life has changed over the last handful of years plus, I have a better appreciation for Thanksgiving. Um, I saw a meme not all that long ago, a week or two ago, and because whenever something gets posted on social media where it's suggests people that are dialed into Christmas, that we need to calm down and observe Thanksgiving first, and I get it. But I saw this meme, and it was actually sent to me by no less than four people. Uh, that the holiday season is how they, in terms of Christmas, goes from, like this year, it will go from November 1st up to the 27th. I will observe Thanksgiving on the 28th. And then the 29th, moving to the 25th of December, I pick I pick Christmas back up, right? Uh, that's pretty much my mentality. That is my approach. That is how my holiday season breaks down. It was perfectly said. But then I started thinking about what I was going to do this week. This week, the last couple of weeks have been um, kind of crazy. If I don't mind telling you, in terms of things going on in my personal life, scheduling conflicts with the other co-hosts, and I mean one of which we got a pretty significant announcement that we're going to be making tomorrow or Wednesday on Power Tripping Through the 80s. That will be available at midnight on Wednesday. Uh, be sure to check that out. It's also going to be available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel as well. So check that out. But this year is different for me, and I wanted to use this week, like I said right at the start of the program. I wanted to use this as a kind of a platform to kind of air some things out, things that I'm feeling, things that I'm thinking, things that are happening, and how this all, like, the timing couldn't be more perfect. And look, I'm a timing guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I dial in on that shit because I have such a better appreciation for the concept of time nowadays than I ever have. And going into this week and thinking about what this year has been for me, I have a lot to be thankful for. That's not to say that there aren't situations or scenarios or situations that pop up that challenge me, challenge my inner peace, challenge my happiness. But I have achieved, wrong word. I have I have undergone a lot of self-growth in how I handle things, in how I conduct myself in situations and circumstances, less than ideal ones. I do that because I'm not the same man that I was 9 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. Just not. I can honestly sit here and tell you that in the last 7 years plus, my life has been turned completely upside down. Things that happened were completely out of my control. And then there were things that happened that I am responsible for. And I own my shit. I know what was right, what was wrong, how things were handled, what worked, what didn't, all in an effort to reclaim me, my life, my sense of happiness, my purpose in some cases. It is no exaggeration when I tell you that the last 3 or 4 years, I dreaded the holidays. Like I put on as big of a smile on my face as I possibly could, because there is a level of expectation that especially my friends came to expect, came to, like, for them, my Christmas spirit was something that they could have bet the house on. Unfortunately, if they were to do that in the last handful of years, they would have lost everything. And I wasn't good. Wasn't in a good place. I was in a very, very toxic environment, much of which I put myself into, realizing that that was not the course of action. That is not the path I was supposed to be on. It took me a little bit to back myself out of it and get back onto the path I'm supposed to be on. And what you know it, it happened this year. I look at Thanksgiving differently this year. And because of that, I am going to use the show this week to kind of expand on that, things that I am thankful for, things that I have learned along the way, and my renewed appreciation for what this holiday is. Holidays are a funny thing. Holidays are a funny thing because most people have got to juggle a considerable amount of activities, dinners, events. You got to go here on this day at this time to be with one family. Then you got to pack up and head down the road for another gathering later on in the evening. And then you get Friday rolled into it. And then the weekend comes around. There's other parties, there's other gatherings. And like it gets to be a lot, and it overwhelms people. Some There are others where they are the hub. Like everything centers around them, their house, their activities, and like doesn't matter how many sides of the family you got, they're all converging on your place on that day. Generally, it's going to be Thursday, but a lot of people don't. So there is anxiety that goes into it. There's less than ideal situations, especially when you know you're going to be met with members of your family that you don't get along with. Some cases, extreme cases, you just don't like. Um, that sets up for a less than favorable experience. I also feel like that we need to get reintroduced to what this holiday is all about. I mean, I did. I had to find my appreciation for Thanksgiving. First of all, one of the reasons, and I know this is going to sound real ignorant, but one of the anxious parts about me in dealing with Thanksgiving is my ability to enunciate the word Thanksgiving. It is on that level with me because anytime I start feeling like I have to talk about this particular holiday, like something, it's difficult for me to pronounce the word because of my speech impediment. And I think that's why my delivery this week is a little slower because I have to slow my brain down to coincide with how my mouth was working. People who don't stutter have no fucking idea what that's like. You don't. Don't try. You can be empathetic, but you have no fucking idea what that does to an individual who has a speech impediment. I know this is a sidebar, but it's part of my dealings with this holiday. So more often than not, I will refer to it as Turkey Day, and people take offense to that. And I understand why they would take offense to it, but there's not a fucking thing that I could do because I can say that very easily. Um, I don't mean any disrespect. I don't mean to, diminish the meaning of the day because I tend or I focus on calling it by its nickname than its actual given day, name for this particular holiday. Um, but there has always, and I'll be the first one to admit, I overshadowed Thanksgiving. Like I just wanted to get past it so that I can be quote unquote allowed to really dial into Christmas. And to the point to where it, I almost quit talking about it because I'm not kidding you. Like especially with my brother, like he fucking hammered me, man. Like he's like, you need to appreciate Thanksgiving. I do. Certainly not on the level that I do now, but I've always recognized how significant, how important that day is. I can think back to all the Thanksgivings that we had as kids growing up in Hadley. My parents, man, they were on a different level on Thanksgiving Day. My mom would be in there from the night before in the kitchen making all kinds of shit, and we would wake up to the smell of turkey in the oven on Thursday morning. And then we would go downstairs and bless her heart, she would be down there just, I mean, Martha Stewart didn't have nothing on her, man. Martha can suck it for all I care. Because I mean my mom my mom went above and beyond for anything and everything. Birthdays, holidays, it did not matter. Last day of school, I just she was over the top to make sure that my brother, my dad, and I had everything we wanted, everything we needed, make sure that we felt special, make sure we had all of our favorite things. There was a specific menu that she would make for the holidays. On Thanksgiving it centered around turkey. On Christmas it was ham, but the side dishes were, some we that's the only time we had them during that year was during these holidays. So we looked forward to that. What I wouldn't give to have that again. Anybody who has listened to the show for any length of time or knows me on any personal level, um, we lost my mom on Valentine's Day in 2017. And up until last or this year, actually, that's not even really accurate. Um, I don't look at Valentine's Day the same anymore, which is unfortunate because it's also the birthday of one of my dearest and closest friends. And I make a concentrated effort to make sure that he knows I'm thinking about him on that day, but he also knows what's on my mind that day. You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up together. Going into the first Thanksgiving without my mom here, we weren't really sure what we were going to do. Um, what wound up happening is my dad and I did everything we could to replicate my mom's Thanksgiving menu. Um, he took care of the turkey, and I did the rest of the stuff. My mom never kept a cookbook. You know, everything was off the top of her head. A splash of that, a pinch of this, and I was like, shit. I wish I had paid more attention to how she made our favorite meals, you know. So that first year, the November of 17, I apologize for that. We decided that we were going to try to replicate that menu, and I'm here to tell you, I wasn't sure what kind of reaction we were going to get, but it was my brother that validated. It's like it was almost as if mom made it. You know what I mean? Like that will always stick with me. Since 2017, I have had that better appreciation for the holiday. And then 2020 happened. And that's a completely different level of mind fuck. We were in the pandemic era, so social distancing was a common phrase. There were mandates and shit like this that dictated whether we could be with friends and family and what was allowed and what was this and what was that. And it's just a weird time, man. Weird, weird, weird time. In April of that year, of course, we all know, I lost Jeff. We lost Jeff. And I got to tell you, the Thanksgiving of 2020 is a fucking blur. I don't remember it. I don't remember 2020. I don't remember 21. I don't remember 22. 23 was an abomination. So we're coming into this year. And with the year that I've had personally, I can honestly tell you that my fanfare, my love of the holidays has been rejuvenated, rebooted. And I find myself being excited about the holidays again for the first time in a long time. Let me back up a little bit. I misspoke there. 22 was the abomination. Thanksgiving last year, the holidays last year are the exception to the rule, and it's for one reason: the Grugel family. Sean and Sharon and their children Ashley and Hunter, went above and beyond to help make the holidays tolerable for me because I was in a very, very bad spot. Very bad spot. There's gonna be. I'm actually working on an episode that does a deep dive into and the motherfucker is titled "Season in Hell." Um, it's taken me a lot to get through it, so it's going to be something down the line, but it is in the works of. But let me tell you about the Grugel family. Sean and Sharon did everything they could. They made me part of their family festivities last year in an effort to get my mind off the current at that time the current layers of bullshit I was navigating through and um, did everything they could to restore some degree of Christmas spirit and bless their hearts for it. Seriously, it was the best holiday season that I could have had, that I did have in several years. But there was still something missing. There was a huge void in my heart. Like I was there, I was engaged, I was, I was. It wasn't like I was a recluse or, I walked around shuffling my feet with my head held down. Like when I went out in public, like I tried to put on the best face possible. I I didn't know how I was going to go through the holidays because the year before that was rock fucking bottom. And Sean did everything he could to make sure that was not going to be revisited, and he did. He and his wife opened their home up to me, and I broke bread with them on the holiday, and we watched the Lions game and all this, that, and the other thing. And then Christmas rolled around, man, and they really, really just went over the top. And I will always remember that. Yeah, I know, or in a little bit ago, I got my years twisted, but last year really started to set the table for what I'm coming into this year. And I will always be appreciative of that. I will never not remember that. And that's friendship, man. That is friendship on the most personal level. There's friends, there's colleagues, there's coworkers and stuff like that. But man, the Grugels really made me feel like I was a part of their family at a time where I felt utterly alone. My dad and his fiance were doing their thing and all that. Yeah, and they did invite me to be a part of that. I don't want to paint a picture like they shunned me or anything like that. I just wasn't in that frame of mind, man, because I didn't want to bring that shit down for them. Sean wasn't taking no for an answer last year, is what it really come down to. He's like, "You are going to be here, and you are going to do this," and it's like, okay, because what the fuck else was I going to do? You know, I had already spent the previous year alone by myself, and like that mm, worst feeling in the world, you know. But no, they really did, man. They really set the table for where I'm at here and now. And that's what really made me appreciate the meaning of Thanksgiving, what it's really supposed to be about. So I come into this year, uh, I I feel like a brand new man in a lot of instances for a lot of reasons. I think about where I've been. I think about where I'm going. I think about what all has been going on. Because I have been, sports fans utilize the word rebuild year when your franchise, when your team sucks and they're trying to find the right players for the right spots and the right time to put together a championship team or at least a good team worth cheering for. I was very much in a rebuild session of my life, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that as I sit here coming into Thanksgiving week of 2024, I am the happiest I've ever been. And why is that? Now, I know this is going to ruffle some feathers for some of you because you don't agree with how I conduct my life or what I do or what I say or what I put out there. Here's the thing, it ain't for you to like. You don't have to be a part of it. In fact, I would rather that you didn't. If you take exception to anything I'm doing, get the fuck over yourselves and bounce. Plenty of other people out there for you to lay judgment against. I don't need your bullshit. I don't need your criticism. Because at the end of the day, you couldn't lace my fucking shoes. You don't know where I've walked through. You don't know what I see. You think you do because you get personally invested in my story and you listen to what I say on these shows and you think that gives you the open window as to what makes all this tick. False. What you're getting is very strategic snapshots. That's what you get. You unless you walk a mile in my shoes, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Facts. And here's the thing. I don't really give a fuck if you agree with it or not. It's not your life. I realize some of the criticisms come because people do care and people are worried. Don't worry about me. You weren't worried about me at any other time to the point to where you're going to start voicing your opinion. It's when I start making some very significant life changes. This is where people start forming an opinion or having some basis of judgment. Save yourself the time, effort, and energy, the hurt feelings, and everything else that's going to come along with it. Save yourself that because at the end of the day, it ain't going to matter. It's not going to change my course of action. If you really truly cared about me, you would really truly know that as I sit here now, I am fucking awesome. I feel great. Things have finally started trending in the right direction. I've been very elusive about some of the things going on in my personal life while at the same time acknowledging it as best as I can given the current circumstances or situations or where we are in our lives and things of this nature. But something significant happened to me this year, and it's one of those things that has been nothing short of life altering for the good. I have found a wonderful woman who has motivated me, inspired me to find my footing and to get my shit together so that I can be the best version of myself for her, for my kids. Um, and over the course of, since we initially met to where we are here and now, I am a very blessed man. I am a very lucky man. And it would be the easiest thing in the world to sit here and raise her flag up and grab the bullhorn and un, just put it all out there. But you got, there's a method behind the madness here as to why I don't do that. Don't really need to, first of all, because at the end of the day, it's none of anybody's business. But at the same time, a lot of the correspondence that I get are messages of concern. Are you okay? Are you good? How's things? What's happening? I am good. I'm better than good. I'm great. Because I found somebody that, believe it or not, actually fucking likes me. For me. Not what I am, who I am. Who I'm trying to be. And she is motivating me every single day to be the best version of myself. I feel levels of happiness and peace, internal peace, that I have never had with anybody. Any person, any situation, any scenario, just haven't had it. It's eluded me. But man, where I'm at here and now, I am a very blessed, a very lucky, and a very happy man. She has rejuvenated so much good in my life and has really refired my Christmas spirit, my holiday spirit. I look forward to things again. I anticipate things again on the level that I used to, and then some. She's the only one that hasn't laid judgment against me for anything. Any challenge that has popped up, we've been able to figure out what the issue is, have a meaningful conversation, figure out how to make it work, how to overcome. We do, and we move forward. That's been the thing this year. Now, instances like that are very few and far between, thank God. But overall, I love my life. And I haven't been able to say that in a long time. I'm happy. I'm at peace. I'm motivated. I'm inspired. And that's great news for me. That's great news for anybody that is within my inner circle. It is great news for the people who have shows here on the network. Again, the scheduling has been a little bit wonky in the last couple of weeks, but we're getting back on solid common ground, trying to get a schedule established, figure out who's doing what and when, and how we're going to move into this next year. Because I got news for you, Jack. 2025, I'm going to make that year my bitch, if I'm being honest. There are things that are on the horizon. There are things that with the click of a button, it's going to be a game changer for us. We're not quite ready yet. But man, when that button gets pushed, you're going to want to hop on the train, because here we roll. I'm coming into Thanksgiving this year so thankful. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for this network. I'm thankful for the men and women who have influence within this network, whether you are a co host, whether they have their own show, whether they are behind the scenes pushing buttons, specifically at ONTV for Fatal Four Way, which, as a programming note, we will not be on ONTV this coming Friday with it being Black Friday. Um, During the holiday week, ONTV shuts down on the holiday weekend here. So Fatal Four Way is going to happen. However, it's going to be streamed exclusively here on Riverside.fm, our YouTube channel, and the PFC Network Facebook page. So you're going to be able to see you're going to be able to see it on three separate platforms. And it is the big Survivor Series preview show because, of course, the Survivor Series is this Saturday on Peacock. So I as I start to wind this down, I, the one another thing, a very crucial thing that I am very appreciative of is you. I am thankful for all of you who take the time to download the shows, to listen to what we have to say, that support our endeavors in any realm. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you because without you, what's the point of doing this? I try to, throughout the course of the year, I try to show my appreciation and how thankful I am for the support that the network gets or the other co hosts get or that I get. I will always be thankful for that. It is never lost on me. Ever, ever, ever lost on me. A month or so ago, we crossed 250 episodes of this flagship show. I didn't think I would get into double digits. That was 4.5 years ago, damn near 5 years ago. And I sit here now and I think of where we're going. I think of what we're fixing to launch. I think about all these ideas and plans that are ready to roll and things that are in preparation. I'm in a good spot and I'm happy. And I will stop at absolutely nothing to maintain that level of happiness and internal peace that I feel. Because now that I've felt it, I ain't letting it go. And I ain't compromising it for jack shit. And if that means people get cut, thrown to the wayside, left behind, that's unfortunate. It doesn't have to be that way. But I ain't entertaining any more bullshit either. Just isn't going to happen. So when you're sitting with your friends and family on Thursday or Friday or Saturday or whenever it is that you're doing your particular things, I mean, I want you to remember this. Somewhere within your community, someone down the street, someone in your town, someone in your state, somewhere in the world, somebody would give anything to have what you're fixing to sit down to. The environment that you are in, the food you're about to shovel into your face, that overall feeling of love, connection, and peace. Every single person, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you are, I don't care what you're going through. There's at least one thing to be thankful for this week with this holiday. Because I mentioned a little bit ago, I was at rock bottom. Even at rock bottom, I still had things to be thankful for if it was only for one thing. I woke up today. or somebody called to check in on me, or like something. Everybody has something that they can be thankful for. And you need to take that moment, either internally or verbally or whatever. You need to acknowledge that, respect it, and let that take you into this holiday season. I appreciate it so much of my life. The people in it, the situations, the environments, like all of it. It's never lost on me. Every day I wake up realizing I am the luckiest man in the world. And I'm pretty damn happy too. And that is an amazing feeling. And my hope and my wish for all of you this week is that you have something that makes you feel what I feel, and that you express your appreciation, your gratitude, and your thankfulness for whatever that looks like. Now, I mentioned, Black Friday is this week. Big shopping day. Well, it used to be. That's going to be another topic for another time, I feel like. But listen, if you have people on your list this year that are fans of any of the shows here on the PFC network, can I encourage you to go check out pfcstore.printify.me. It is the official online store of the PFC Entertainment Network. And if you're looking for just Christmas-inspired merchandise, well, by God, I got you covered there, too. Just head over to pfcholidays.printify.me. All of our Christmas gimmicks are on there. And there's going to be a few more things that drop here this week, so be sure to check that out. And pfcnetwork.net, of course, is our official website. So just wanted to throw that out there as we start to wind this down and put a bow on it. Again, tune in tomorrow for Power Tripping Through the 80s. There's going to be a big announcement on there. We're trying to figure out when we're going to get Sports Reel podcast recorded because of the time sensitivity with how that show is formatted. And taking into consideration the holidays this week, we're trying to get it, so it's going to be manageable for my side and Tim Sheridan's. So check that out. Keep checking in on all of our social media platforms for all the latest information. But above all else, go out, be awesome to yourselves and to each other, and enjoy your friends and family. Don't forget to give thanks for the blessings in your life. With that, we'll see you next week right here on the Close to the Heart podcast, the flagship show of the PFC Entertainment Network.